Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am doing a everyday makeup look, and I'm also going to be answering a few of your questions that people had asked me on Instagram relating to makeup and beauty and stuff like that. So I hope that you enjoy this video. If you want to see how I attained this makeup look, then just keep watching. I'm just gonna jump into it. Okay, so I'm gonna start out with using a primer, and the primer I'm using is the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. So I'm gonna put that all along my face. Now, I know my face is really white, so if people want to comment, yes, my face is very white. And that is because I usually always wear foundation, and my foundation has SPF, which I'll talk about as well. So yeah, my face is really white because it's always protected by the sun. But I'm actually okay with that because when I'm older, you know, I won't have, hopefully, as many wrinkles or anything like that. So I'm all good with that. So I put it underneath my eyes, around my nose, basically just my T-zone. And I love this. I've tried also the Benefit Professional primer. But I find that this is kind of like a dupe for it, and it works just as well. So that's it for my primer. Now we're gonna move on to foundation. Okay, now for foundation, I'm using the Covergirl Outlast All Day Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation, and I'm in the shade 905, which is Ivory. Now this is my all-time favorite foundation ever. I had a question on Instagram that said, I think one of the questions was, oh, what's your go-to foundation? And also, do I change my foundations throughout the seasons? So my all-time favorite foundation is this, of course. I just love it. I think it covers so well, and I've used this for literally like 10 years, and it just works so well. So I just put it on the back of my hand, and it is a little bit messy, but I have wipes here to wipe it off afterwards. And as for like the summer months, no, I don't usually switch it up. I just like really rely on this guy. But what I will say is that I obviously add in a setting spray. Like, I always make sure, I try to do that in the winter as well, but if not in the winter, I do it always in the summer because I need that extra help, you know, like if I am wearing a full strength kind of foundation, or like, in my opinion, I get pretty full coverage with this foundation, so I don't know. I also don't have very like bad skin, so if you had severe skin, this might not work for you. But I find it works really well. But yeah, obviously in the summer it gets very warm, so I find the setting spray just kind of neutralizes it out a little bit more, and then I also just find that I'm able to keep my makeup on longer because the setting spray is really good for doing that. And the setting spray that I typically use is the Urban Decay All Nighter, because I find that it's just like the best. Yeah, so that's what I use. That's my go-to foundation, is this foundation. And I'll link everything down below so you guys are able to go check that out for yourself. And I think like foundation honestly takes the longest part. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like obsessive with making sure my skin looks perfect. So this usually takes me a long time. And I might not add the entire clip of this into the video just because it might be kind of long. But this is typically how I'd apply it. Now the brush I'm using is the Real Techniques brush, and I'll also link it down below. This one I think just came on its own, but there are packages that you can buy that have like 3 packs. So I'm gonna add a bit more onto my forehead, like so. And I do have to clean my brush, so I apologize if it looks kind of dirty. I promise I clean it like every week, but I wear makeup most days. So I wanted to go over some of the other questions as well. One of the other questions that someone had was, what's your favorite anti-aging products to use prior to your makeup application? So this one was kind of difficult for me because I don't like have mature skin yet. So I don't typically use a lot of products for mature skin, but I do have some suggestions that are really great products that I love, and they're very hydrating. So I think that they would work really well for mature skin. I'm also just bringing it down my neck, which I always do because I don't want to have a big line, honestly. I do this even when I'm wearing like a lower cut top. I just find that it looks nicer. Everything is like blended together, and there's no difference in color from like your skin where it's all nice and bronzed and glowy to like your white ass neck, you know? So I like having it just for the sake of blending it all together. And you don't have to bring it far, like this far down, I guess, but I do, and I find it works really well. My foundation always looks very blended. So that is the makeup foundation application. So you can see it's really covered like my under eye circles. It's covered most of the redness. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like if you've never tried this foundation, please try it. So I'm going to move on to my next product, and that is concealer. I'm moving on to concealer, and I'm using the L'Oreal New True Matte Super Blendable Concealer, and it's in the shade W123. So like I'm not really gonna show the products because I'm gonna list everything down below for you guys with links as well, just so it's easy for you to find it. But I'm gonna go ahead and start right underneath my eye. Maybe I'll come a bit closer for you. And I go ham on this thing, okay? Because I have dark under eye circles, so we're not playing here. I gotta cover these up. And this is like an everyday makeup look for me. This might be so much makeup for some people. People might look at this and be like, I'm not doing this every day. Other people might also be like, hey, this is what I do every day. So this is just what I do every day. I'm not telling you you have to do these steps, but you guys wanted to know what I use and how I apply it all, so hopefully this will answer some of your questions. One of the questions that I got on Instagram was what's like my everyday makeup routine, or am I gonna film it? And I listened because I'm doing it right now, so you guys get the full-on scene of everything that I do to get ready. And I'd say like my makeup probably takes about half an hour to do, which might seem long for some people, but I do like a full face, so I think that's pretty good. So you can see like it's definitely a lot brighter this eye than the other eye, and I'll just continue to do the other eye underneath. And I'm also going to do around my nose, like kind of like the T-zone. So I'm going to add it on underneath my other eye. I'm going to add it on the forehead, around my nose, on my lip section, like right above my upper lip. And then I'm gonna put it on my chin as well. And I know maybe some people are like, well, why would you do that? Because you just put foundation on, but I just find it highlights all the right parts of my face. And I just enjoy it. I love that highlighted look. I like full coverage. Like if you're not into full coverage, then this foundation routine is definitely not for you. Which is fine, everyone has their own preferences, but I love full coverage. Like if I'm wearing makeup, I am doing the full shebang. It's like all makeup or no makeup. That's kind of how I roll, so. Okay, so I want to get back to the question. So somebody had a question about anti-aging products prior to putting your makeup on. I don't think I talked about that. So the products that I suggest are this eye cream by Clinique. It's called the Clinique's Moisture Surge Eye Cream, and I will list it down below as well, where you can get it and the prices. I only have like sample sizes of it, but it works so well. I find it says that it has like 96 hours of hydration, so I'm all for that. And I just think it's a great product, and you can definitely apply it before your makeup. I typically would only apply it at night because it's pretty like moisturizing, and I don't necessarily need a lot of moisture before I put my makeup on, like other than what I already do, which is prime my skin and then I put like just my regular everyday moisturizer on. But if you're looking for an eye cream, it's a perfect choice. And the other eye cream that I would suggest is from not Bath and Body Works. It's from the Body Shop. It's such a good product, and this is an elderflower cooling eye gel is what it is. That stuff works so well, and I actually looked on their website today and it's on sale right now, so I think it's like $9, and it is such a good product. And because it's a gel, it's so lightweight that you literally you just don't have to worry about some eye creams you think are too thick and then they won't lay out your makeup nicely on your face. This one is not like that at all. So I love that one, and I'll list it again down below. And then the moisturizer that I would recommend for mature skin, but also like any skin type, is the Josie Maran Argan Oil Whipped Face Butter. You guys, that moisturizer is amazing. Face butter in itself, in the title, should tell you something, you know? It's just so good. I don't even know how to describe it. It's basically like the feeling of for girls, they're gonna understand this. You know, like how when you just shave your legs and you haven't shaved your legs for a little while, and it's like that silky smooth feeling that you get afterwards? That's how your face feels after you use the Josie Maran Argan Oil Whipped Butter Face Butter. It just feels so, so good. So I would very much recommend that. It is amazing. And yeah, those are all the 3 products I recommend for anti-aging, and also just like any skin type, honestly. Maybe if you have really oily skin, you wouldn't want to do that, but I have pretty oily skin and I'm totally fine with those products. So you kind of just have to try it out and see what works for you. Okay, so I blended that all out. Now I'm gonna go on and move on to powder. So I didn't film the powder application, but I just applied powder, and it's the Covergirl Clean Matte Powder in the shade Classic Ivory 510. And this is amazing. I've had so many compliments on the combination of this foundation with this concealer and then the powder on top. It just makes your skin perfect. I have a little bit of a bump there, but there's no pores, there's nothing. I don't know where they are, but they're hidden, and that's what I want. So now I'm gonna move on to contouring, and I'm using a Hotel Heiress Tarte bronzer, and I'm using another Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to sculpt out my cheekbones. Now I like a strong contour, so don't be afraid. When you see me apply this at first, you'll kind of be like, whoa, what are you doing? But I promise, once it's all blended out and I add on different products, it will look okay. Have a little bit of faith in me, okay? I promise. You can never judge makeup by the middle part of it. If you're doing your makeup and you just stop and look at yourself halfway through, you're like, I look like a clown. Literally, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, you know. So just don't judge, girl. I got you. We're gonna make this work. So as you can see, I kind of make a bit of the face, the duck face or whatever you want to call it, but I just like to make sure that the product really gets up in there, and you definitely want to use a neutral bronzer, but nothing that's going to be too warm or too gray. And I'm going to warm up my temples. This I go ham on. The bronzer, I'm not afraid to you know, go with, because I find I think my forehead is a little bit big. Maybe some people might disagree, but I just like contouring my forehead, and I like contouring the rest of my face too. So this part is pretty crucial for me, because if I don't do this, then I find that it's a big difference. Before, when I had just my foundation on, I literally looked like Casper the Ghost, and that's not a cool look, right? No one wants to look like Casper. So this bronzer is also very creamy, so I'm able to blend it, and it's able to just look a bit more seamless without me trying so hard, which I love as well. Okay, and then I'm also gonna apply it just on my nose. Like on the bridge of my nose. Maybe that sounds weird, but that's typically what I do, just to add a bit more like depth into the center of my face. Like that. I promise it will all look nice together. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now I'm gonna move on to another bronzer, but it has shimmer in it, so I like it because it just adds some depth to your cheekbones. So now you're defined, you've got that nice depth, and now I wanna go in and I want to kind of spice it up a little bit, bring some life into my cheekbones. So I'm gonna move on to that. I'm going to take this bronzer from the Body Shop. It is the Bronze Shimmer Waves in the shade 01. And I'm gonna take another Real Techniques brush. I love Real Techniques, if you did not know. And I'm just going to spool this around in my brush, and then I'm gonna apply it to my cheekbones, kind of over top of where I put my contour. And I just find that this gives a bit more dimension and life to my cheeks. I will also add a blush. And a lot of you guys might think like, oh, this is like a lot of stuff, so I'm not committed to that. Well, if you want this look, I would recommend kind of layering products, because I find that they just look more seamless if you layer them than if you just put like one product on your face. You're just gonna be able to tell there's only one product. It's not going to look blended together and seamless and pretty. So that's that side, and it is different than this side. You can see there's a difference. It just adds a bit more depth to the contour, and it's going to add a couple different colors, because in this palette, as you can see, it has like a pink, a bronze, a like way more bronze color, a brown, and then like a highlight almost. So all those, when you mix them all together, they look really great on your skin. So I'm just going ahead and I'm doing that. If you don't like a heavier contour, then you could just like apply a lighter application, or you could just skip the contouring and just do the Body Shop product. But I like a full-on contour, so that's what I'm going with. And if you think there's like a line and stuff, don't worry, we're gonna get to that. Don't you worry. It's all about the process when you're putting it on. Okay, so now lastly I'm gonna move to blush, and then I'm gonna bake, and I'm gonna show you what I do to bake and how long I take to bake and everything like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna apply blush. It's the same brush as before, and this is an Annabelle blush. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. And actually it's rubbed off, but I found it online because one of the questions that somebody asked on Instagram was, what blush do you use? Or like, what's your favorite blushes? So it's definitely this one. It's by Annabelle, and I actually wrote down what it's called. Annabelle Perfect Blush in Golden, Bronze, and Hibiscus. So there's golden bronze is one color, and the other one that I really like is called Hibiscus. And another shade that I really enjoy is the Milani Baked Blushes. Those are so good, and I like the one in 02 called Rose Dior. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I will also link it down below, because those are like some of my favorite blushes. They definitely have more peachy tones to them, but I find that it works out better with peachy tones with the kind of makeup that I like to have on my face, not to look. Because the contour that I use is a little bit more warm, and then same with the other bronzer that's from the Body Shop, like the Shimmer Waves. So I just find like if I added something that was more of a frosted pink, it just would be way too noticeable and it wouldn't be able to blend out properly. So I always go towards like pink, pinky kind of coral peach colors. Okay, so I applied the blush. I'm gonna take a little bit more on my nose. I just started doing this recently. Well, maybe not recently, within the past year, but I really do like it because it just like adds some cuteness to your look. You know what I mean? Okay, so now that's done. I'm gonna show you how I bake. Not in the oven though. Yeah, So let's move on to that. So for baking, I'm actually gonna use like my little mirror, and I'm just using the same powder as before. And we're gonna go across our face. And I know some people are gonna be like, whoa, but just, you know, it's okay. I will blend it out afterwards. Please do not think that I would just leave it like this, because that would be insanity. So yeah, I've done that side. Now I'm gonna do this side. Now the reason I do this is because when I blend it out afterwards, it looks like it's not a line, but it just looks very precise and sharp, and that's kind of what I want. If I'm going to bake, the last thing that I want is if you don't bake, what can happen is that your like foundation and your bronzer can just kind of all look like very muddy together, and it doesn't look nice. So that's why I always bake. So that's it for the baking, and I'm literally just gonna leave that there until I'm done the rest of my makeup, and then at the very end I blend it out. So now we're gonna move on to eyebrows, and I'm gonna show you the products that I use, but I'm not gonna film it on camera just because it takes me a long time. So the products that I use are this Essence Eyebrow Liner. This is literally like a few dollars from Shoppers or Superstore. And I also use another one to just define the ends and the tail of my lash, of my eyebrow. And that's also by Essence, and it's the Superlast 24-hour Eyebrow-Pomade-Pencil Waterproof. Ooh. Also, I'll link that down below. And then to finish it off, I use the Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara, also by Essence. So all this stuff can be purchased for literally like probably $6. That's pretty good for your eyebrows. So I'm gonna go do my eyebrows, and then I'll be right back. Just did my eyebrows, and they look pretty good. I'm just gonna like come in a bit closer because then you guys can actually see it. But yeah, I like the products that I use. It works really well for me. I've used these products for a long time. I almost forgot highlighter. I mean, what kind of makeup tutorial would it be without highlighter? I wear highlighter every day, so that'd be very out of character. So I'm going to use a Morphe brush. I think this was a special edition. It's already like worn off. You can't even see the Morphe, but I will link it down below if I find the set. It came with like 18 brushes, I think, like a travel set. And then I'm actually using, for real, a Sephora eyeshadow as my highlighter, and it's rubbed off, so I'm pretty sure I know which one it is, so I'll link it down below. But this is amazing. I actually had a Sephora employee compliment my highlight, and she was like, oh my goodness, like, what is that? Like, I need to know everything that's on your face right now in this moment. And I was like, wow, that's aggressive, but I'm like, sure, I'll tell you what I put on my face. So I literally just stood there and I told her all the things that I put on my face, and she was like, wow. She was so impressed with like the coverage and everything of the highlight. Like, you can just see in the light. Like, it's very blinding but pretty, and you can blend it out. I'm gonna add in a mirror here so that I can see a little bit better. But I love this stuff. It's like the prettiest highlight ever. So I usually just put it on my cheekbones. I'm going to the other side of my cheekbones. And I put it on the bridge of my nose as well. So pretty. Like, do you guys see that? Oh, beautiful. So pretty. Yeah, I put it on the bridge of my nose and also right by my forehead and everything like that. I'll obviously show you guys as well, but and then I just kind of blend it and build it up as I go along. And I'm gonna put it on the bridge of my nose as well. That. I'm gonna add a little bit above my forehead. I don't even know how I kind of discovered this as an option for highlighter, but You guys, this is amazing. And I've like I said before, I've had so many compliments on it that I really wanted like everyone to know what I use, because I'm like, if you want to use it too, you should totally get on it, you know? I'm also gonna add a little bit right in between my eyes, right by the bridge of my nose, right before the bridge of my nose. I'm gonna add some on my Cupid's bow. I love doing. And lastly, I'm gonna add a little bit to the tip of my nose. Just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna add a bit more to this side because it's looking a little bit not as good as the other side. Oh, baby, there we go. Woo! I'm glowing. Okay, so yeah, you get the point. This highlighter is not technically a highlighter, but it's very good. So I'd recommend getting it. I will link it below because this is like a gem. You gotta have this in your makeup collection. Okay, so now I'm gonna actually put on my lipstick and then I'm gonna go move on to eyeliner. I'm adding my lipstick on and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick, and it's in the shade Nude, and it's their matte lipstick collection. I'm literally like, it's just a nub. Do you see that? It's so small. I'm just gonna apply it to my lips. I love this for an everyday nude look. It's like the perfect nude. It's orange, like a little bit of orange and taupe. I love it. Like, just look how pretty that is. It just looks like, it looks like your lips, but better. I do find though you have to add like a few layers to it. That's the only thing I don't like about this product, because I feel like you waste a lot of the product just layering. But once it's on, it stays on fairly well, and it's not like a liquid lipstick or anything. I don't like those because my lips just like get so crusty and dry and gross. But it's very smooth for sure. It's a great lipstick. So there is my lipstick. Oh, so pretty. Yay. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to my eyeliner. Moving on to my liner, and I'm using the Kat Von D Trooper Black Tattoo Liner. This is my all-time favorite liner. So I'm gonna go ahead. Now, I do a pretty long wing. You don't have to, but I love doing it like this, and it's fairly extreme. So you don't need to do it like this, but I do. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get this as best as I can. So I'm just gonna start, I actually start from the corner, which not a lot of people do, I don't think. I'm gonna go out like that. And I've formed that like wing, you see? So like when I relax my eye, I still look like I have a wing. That's the thing, like I think some people do wrong, is that they like lift up their eyelids when they're doing it, but then once they relax, they're like, oh, it doesn't look like a sharp kind of wing still. So I always try to go back in the corner, in the inner corner, and get that to kind of connect up so that when my eye looks straight, I actually still have a curve. And now I'm just gonna connect it from the rest of my eye. To get it too close. And I do draw like a fairly thick line. You don't have to, but I like it to be extreme, you know? Why not? And then I'm gonna connect it so you can kind of see there's like a bit of a gap here. I should actually just come closer. There's a bit of a gap, so I'm gonna fill in that gap, and I'm also going to bring it out a little bit more. Okay. I'm adding a bit more into the middle, right, in the inner corner. And that's basically my wing. I think it looks pretty good. I will do the exact same thing on the other eye, and then I will come back and I will do the rest of my makeup. Okay, so I applied the rest of my eyeliner. So I'll just come up a little bit closer. So that's my wing. And you can see that I have, it's kind of a little bit harder to see, but I have a little bit of a gold eyeliner on the very top of my wing that I made, and I also have it along the bottom here, and these are amazing. Okay, these are from Essence and they're like $2.99, and I have 3 or 4 of them, but this is what they look like, and they're just a eyeliner, and I put it on top of like my eyeliner all the time, and I always get compliments as well. So it's a very, very fine brush, and it's just like these metallic, beautiful colors, and they're so cheap, you guys. So go out and get some. I did also swatch them on my hands so you could see them a bit better. So this one is the one that I have on my eyes right now. This is the gold. This is more, it's quite hard to see, but this is like pure white. So it looks really good if you want to do a more edgier look. And then this one is like a burgundy brown, and they're so pretty, you guys. Like, they just make your eyes look a little bit more like shiny and pretty. So I would recommend getting them, and they're so inexpensive. So you can go, like, if you go to Sephora, you can get some, but they're pretty expensive sometimes. Colorful eyeliners or gel eyeliners that have like glitter in them. So check it out. Lastly, I'm gonna apply some mascara, and I'm using the Covergirl Lash Blast Volume Mascara, and I have also used this for years. It is like my favorite all-time mascara. It just, like, I don't even know how to explain it. I just find that I like the thickness of the brush, like in itself. The thickness of the brush is great, and I like that it coats my lashes, and it just makes me have a lot of volume. And a lot of people will just ask me like if I have false lashes on when I put this on my face, and I never do. Well, actually I do wear fake lashes quite often, but I mean, what I'm saying is I've had people ask me if I'm wearing fake lashes with this specific mascara. So I think it's a pretty good mascara. It's also, again, very inexpensive, so I like that, because I don't know if it's just me. Like, if you wear makeup every day, you'll notice this too, but makeup doesn't last very long. So if you're gonna go out and spend your money on something, like if you can get a better deal or a dupe of something, then I'm all for that. So yeah. I'm gonna answer one more question that I got from Instagram. By the way, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, you totally should, because that's where I'll like ask a lot of questions from you guys, and I'll incorporate things into my videos from Instagram. So definitely go follow me over there, because you'll just stay connected with me. So the last question was one of the questions I had, and I know this person, so they're like a little bit younger, was what's the hardest part about growing up? And this one, I mean, it's very personal, right? Like, it kind of depends on who you are as a person and the struggles that you face yourself. But I think the hardest thing for me growing up was realizing that, like, people will disappoint you. And sometimes those people can be, like, your very, very close friends of, like, 10 years, or, like, can be your roommates, it can be, like, classmates, coworkers, family, but like whoever it is, if you're really close with them, it affects you. It affects you so much more than just a random stranger, obviously. So I think, yeah, growing up and being able to like recognize that people are gonna disappoint you, and it doesn't mean that they're always going to, but just being aware of the fact, like, if you put 110% effort into something, it doesn't mean that everyone will, you know? So I would suggest being around friends that are really, truly your friends, and it's the same for like coworkers are a bit different because you're around them. You don't always have control of who you're working with, but friends, family even, like only surround yourself with people that deserve your love and attention. That's all I'm gonna say, because I think for myself, I wasted a lot of time trying to be friends with people that were kind of a waste of time, in my opinion. So don't sell yourself short. Only be friends with people who really deserve your love, and then you'll be set. That's all I gotta say on that. I have some experiences of like that has happened to me, so. Okay, now I'm just gonna do the bottom lashes, which are always a pain to do. Actually, I'm gonna do this off camera and then I'll come back and then I will finish up. So I just finished up with my eyeliner and my mascara, and that completes this video. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. I know that this video was a bit longer, but I did really want to walk through all the steps with you that I do for my makeup. And please make sure that before you leave that you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. That way you're updated every time I post a new video. And be sure to comment and like this video and just let me know what you thought of the look. Let me know if you're gonna get any products, if this was helpful. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see from me. And go ahead and follow me on Instagram so you can get updates every time I post a new video. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!